Well, hello and welcome. It is Coach B Gold Nugget time with Power Lead System and Lead Lightning. And tonight we're going to get into something that's a little bit more advanced, not that much, but just a little bit more for you that have upgraded to Power Lead System. Now, if you're with Lead Lightning and you look at this and you say, I want to do that. Well, just go ahead and upgrade. That's all there is to it. Every week we do something a little bit different. One week we'll do something more geared to the Lead Lightning, which is sort of more at the beginner level. And then we'll do things for the Power Lead System upgrade, because the difference is that you can do a lot of customization with the Power Lead System, and you're going to see that tonight. But anyway, welcome. My name is Dottie Berry, aka Coach B. I'm known as the Google Hangout Maven, and I'm CEO of Training to Transform. And I'm a coach and speaker. I love, doing what I do and being able to get here on Tuesday nights and be of service to you. So anyway, let's kind of dig right in. Let me though say, if you are here as a guest, we do want to welcome you. We know that your time's very valuable, and I think you're going to thank the person who invited you to come in and take a look, because if you're in marketing, it is not a matter of if you're going to build a list and begin communicating with people, it's a matter of when. So it's very important that you start at some point. Everybody started at the same place. It's 0 people on their list. But it's not just about the list. It's about really communicating with the list and being of service to the people. So if you're not doing that, then you're missing the big point anyway, because this is the greatest combination I've found of what I call high tech with high touch. Because the whole purpose behind this is not to sit behind my computer and not know people. In fact, it's just the opposite. I want to get to know people and I want to help them. And by, really being able to get on Hangouts and do things like that, then you can literally get to know people and form relationships. I've formed relationships with people all over the world simply by doing Google Hangout trainings and using those in marketing, because today people want a real person. They want to know that you exist and that you're going to be there to help them. So it's really a fantastic way. So when I'm showing you about how to really launch these, what we call webinar and hangout pages, it gives you a way of tracking and sending it back through email autoresponders for people who signed up. Because if you just created what we call a sales page and embedded your Hangout code in there, you wouldn't have any way of really knowing who showed up. So this is a great, easy way of having people, opt in, so to speak, for your webinar, quote, Hangout that's coming up. It enables us to put in, the Hangout code and create that. So let's get started with just, we can't cover, every single component of this, but I think we can cover some highlights that are going to help you get started. So let me just do a little screen share here. And it's kind of going to go to infinity. And I'm going to come over here and click on the page. So all I've really done right now is log into the back office of Power Lead System. Again, if you have Lead Lightning, you don't have these kind of customization options, because it does require custom domain, at least one, so that you can use that domain or create a subdomain off of it. But I mean, after all, Lead Lightning is a great value, $7 one time, and when you share that system, you're able to make $6 every time you share that, and you are able to start building your list. So this though is for customization. So once I log in, I go over here to training and click on training area. Okay, so when I click here, I'm just going to go ahead and show you. You do, if you've never gone in the training area. Now let me just say this. If you're in Lead Lightning, the great thing is that you get access to this training. Even though, you've not upgraded or anything, you get access to a lot of this. So create a username and password. You can use the same one as the one that you actually log into your back office with, or you can, choose a different one. I would choose the same one because it makes it easy to remember. But at any rate, we get over here and we go up to what's called system video. Okay, so when you click on the system videos, you're just going to scroll down here. And the reality is, you know, in most of these trainings, I'm not showing you anything that you can't go in your back office and look at. But, you know, there's something about coming to a live training and then me answering questions afterwards that I hope is helpful to you, and maybe a little tweak that wasn't shared in the video in the back office. So let me just scroll down here till I see the one. I hope I haven't already passed it. Let me go back up. Okay, that's the mini site. Oh, here it is. Hangout registration page. Okay, so when you click on that, you're going to go to it, and there's a video by Neil. Now, he basically shows you how to go through and set up that page. He doesn't show you about setting up a thank you page, which I'm going to show you tonight. But it's really just to the point. So, you know, if you want to go in and watch that too, I recommend that you do that. The first thing you have to do is you have to copy that share code, okay? And you go over here and you go back into your system here, okay? Because we were in the training system right there. Okay, I'm just going to come back over here. And there's a couple of ways that you can go and put in your share codes, okay? One way is right here, just go to my sharing codes. There's another way over here. See right here, when you go from websites down to web pages, my sharing codes. So the bottom line is you can go down to my sharing codes. Now, just to point out, this sharing code right here is the one we use for our Hangout trainings. So anybody who is upgraded can actually use that share code, and I've shared it many, many times. I will put it back in the comments box tonight in case there's somebody that's watching this that doesn't have that share code yet. And you can see over 400 people have tapped into using that. And what does that do for you? Well, it enables you to take me coming through your channel. It's kind of like your own TV channel, and hooking it up to your own domain so that it integrates with people signing up with you, perhaps after they come to a training right from your page. Now, the generic one that we use for the community, CoachBGoldNuggets.com, that one doesn't have that because it's just for everybody. But when you do this with the share code, I actually have it set up so that it will go to you when they sign up. It doesn't come to me. It doesn't come to Dottie Berry. It comes to you. And so that's the value of having that share code right there. Okay, so when you come down here and you're going to add one, you would just add it in right there and click submit. Now, I'm not going to do that because I've already added this share code in, okay? But that's all you do. You go to the share codes, and one of the two ways that I showed you, you just come back up here and I'll show you again. But you just put in the share code and click submit. All right, so those share codes again are from my share codes under account, or go from websites to web pages and over down to my sharing codes. Okay, so you click on that and you're going to be at the same place right here where, you know, as you can see, that is the share code. And I will go back in there later and put that in for you. Okay. So after the webinar, just expect to find that, or after the Hangout. Okay, so we're going to go back up here, though, and go to manage web. Well, I should say what I want to do is actually copy this. Okay, but let me show you where it is first. Okay, so when you come in here, you're going to go down into the shared choices. Okay, and I just go down until I find it. Okay, there's the mini site when I was just showing you. Let me just go down here. Here's the webinar invite page. Okay, so you can have it as a one-person or a two-person one. Okay, now if you don't copy this page, you're not going to make any changes on it. So let me show you how you do that. All right, you come back up here and you go from web pages, down from websites to web pages, and over, and click on copy web pages. Okay, that's all you do. Click on copy web pages. All right. And then, because this is going to copy, it's telling you, I want to attract someone to, and it's going to copy this page. And we're going to go down here and find that same one again, okay? Very same one, past mini sites. Once you get to mini sites, you know you're close. And I'm going to choose the webinar invite page, the 2-person one, okay? So I'm going to take that and I'm going to scroll all the way down here. And you see I've got a lot of pages. I'm just going to scroll all the way down because I've got to get down there and click on save. I would scroll down here, but it's not popping up very good there. So I'm just going to scroll on down, on down, on down. My goodness, there's a lot of ones there. Am I ever going to get to the bottom? I hope so. Well, there we go. Okay, make me a copy. All right, so we're going to make me a copy. And when I do, it's going to take you over here. And it's going to have copy of that, all right? Copy of that 2-person one. So if I were just to go here and save that right now, and I went back up here into my web pages, okay, you would see that it says copy of the library page. Now, earlier, I created one. So I'm going to show you what I've created just so you can see the distinction, okay? And I'm doing this just a little bit different. Well, let me go ahead and show you this though, because I think it is going to make you really appreciate how I created that. So I go back to copy, and I'm going to call this just the test for March 8th PLS Hangout with Coach B, okay? So you can put whatever you want right here. If it's a special presentation on how to, you know, whatever, you know, register now, you can put whatever you want. They're going to see that in the browser. You know, when you go on a website and you see something up in the browser, that's what they'll see. This is just so you can identify it. Now, what we have to do now is we have to create our domain name. Now, you can either choose just a domain, all right, that you might have, but I would think in this case you're going to create what we call a subdomain, especially if you only have one domain. You know, the great thing about upgrading the Power Lead system is that you can have one domain and you can create as many subdomains as you want. You might be saying, well, I just don't know what in the world I would choose for a domain name. Well, I always say choose something like, let me just show you, like with Coach B, all right? Let me see if I can just tap in. Oh, I've got so many here, as you can see. I don't even know if I can find it right now. Oh, there it is, with Coach B. Now, the reason I do that is, or I should say, I don't want to just take with Coach B, but that's one that I choose. So let me choose to do it with a custom domain here. The reason I use with Coach B is my recommendation for anybody who's going to get in the customization and can only afford one domain is because you can do a lot of things with this. Register for webinar with coachb.com. Lead Lightning with Coach B. Power Lead System with Coach B. You see what I'm saying? So that just makes it very flexible is my point. So right now, let's just say register for webinar test March 8th, okay? So that's what we're going to call it, and it's going to align itself to this subdomain. Now, what do I mean? Well, consider it like this. Consider that you've got to have something attached to a domain before it's going to show up. So consider this subdomain like your vehicle. If I drive a vehicle into your yard and I say, I'm here to pick it up, and you say, what are you going to pick up? Say, well, I don't know. I don't know if I want to pick up the trailer or the boat. Okay? So if I don't hook up anything, I'm not going to have a trailer or a boat. Okay, but the trailer and the boat just represent the different pages of information that you could connect to any domain or subdomain. Okay, so that's just a simple analogy that you have a vehicle. Okay, your vehicle is your domain or your subdomain, and you have the information that is on this page that you hook up to it. Okay, and we're going to create the information now. So you can also put an autoresponder with this, with your, because if you invite them to the webinar and you want to send them some information, then you will either want to create a custom autoresponder series, or let's say you were doing a hangout, a webinar about lead lightning. You wanted to tell people, and you were going to invite them, and you're going to do this hangout on it, or Power Lead System. Then you could go in here and you could go down and you could find one of the already done, autoresponder systems, okay? Like promote your primary business. Let's say that's what you wanted to do. That's already done for you. Now, it promotes lead lightning, but it also promotes your primary business. And we've gone over before how that works, so we're not going to get into that again. But right now, it doesn't have a page that it's going to because we haven't created a thank you page. Now, sometimes people go and they create that thank you page yet, so first, so that when they come over here, they've already created that, okay? So let me just go over here, and I'm going to log in again. And I'm just going to grab one that I created a while ago when I was working on something. So I'm just logging back into my back office again. I'm going to go to web pages. And you're going to see right here is a thank you page. So I'm going to go, I'm just going to grab that right now. I actually already have it. Let me go back up here because I connected that to a custom domain. So let me go in here. And I'm just going to go, you can see right here, this is a thank you page, all right? So I'm going to go in there and grab one that I've already made up, okay? So let me see if I was over here. Okay, here's where I was. All right, so I'm going to put that in there for now, all right? Now, description and keywords, you want to put keywords that's really relevant to your webinar that you're doing. And then your description goes on here. So this would be more like a paragraph, and this would just be keywords, okay? But that has to pertain to your webinar, so I'm not going to do anything with that right now except point out that you need to do that, okay? All right, so let's just go ahead and save that, all right? We're not going to change anything here, but we're going to go over to text. And what you see right here is text that says Jeff Mills and Neil Guest present. And they're talking about what they present. So by having copied this, we can change this, okay? So I could say right here, that's wanting to kind of be sensitive. So let me just go back like this. Okay, so Dottie Berry and Barry Tuck. I'm just going to put Barry in there. Barry, we're missing you over in Japan. So good. I was on Monday on a blab. We do blabs every Monday morning at blabmaven.com. Come join us. It's a lot of fun. You know, we do what we call Monday motivation, and there's 5 generations of us. The 20s, 30s, the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s. That's me. And we have these blabs. If you haven't heard of them, just go to blabmaven.com. We cover a lot of neat things. But, you know, Barry jumped on there from Japan. He got a notice coming in, and so he picked it up at 4 o'clock in the morning in Japan and jumped on with it. It's a lot of fun. But anyway, let's say that Barry and I were going to do training on something. Now, if you want that right there, you want to copy that. Okay, because you want to hold that color, you can do that, all right? But let's say that you want to take this off. The 3 most important web pages in your business, you might say, the most important thing you can do in your business. Okay, and how having a marketing system can ignite it. Okay. Now, you could leave it just like that, and you could take that off. Okay. So let this just sort of flow from side to side, because this is going to make it show up correctly on mobile. These are mobile optimized sites with this one. So you want to make sure that you do that. Now, let's say I wanted to go back in there and put it in green. So I could put most important. So I might leave that most in italics, and then I would just come and I would take that off. Most important thing you can do in your business, and you might put having a marketing system that can, and then I might say, I want that ignite. And then I might say, oh, I wanted to go green again. Ignite it. Oops, I got to spell that right. Okay, so let's just take that off. All right, so you might say the most important, let me see if I got to have a space there. The most important thing you can do in your business, having a marketing system that can ignite it. Okay, and then you could do a training or a hangout on that. Now, we've already gone over many times how to create a hangout. This is about creating your invite page, okay? So again, we can't cover everything every single night that we do a training on Tuesdays. Go back to recorded webinars right below the video, the hangout that you're seeing right now. Right below there is recorded webinars, and you can go there and you can go and learn how to set up the hangout where you actually put in the code for your hangout page. That's a different thing. This is about creating the invite. Okay, so let's say that it was going to be March 10th. Okay, so you would just be able to change that. That's Thursday this week, and leave it in all caps there. And you would just put in March 10th. And if it was going to be at those times, you would leave that. If it was going to need to be different, you would change it. Now, right now, this counter is not set for that. Okay. And this is where it gets a little bit not difficult, but you just need to know what to do. So far, all we've done is type, okay, or cut and paste. And that's really easy. I'm going to put up here, Dottie Berry and Barry Tuck present a webinar you don't want to miss. Okay. Let's see if I got a regular I in there. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Okay. Now, I could bold that if I wanted to, I could come up here and I could go bold, okay? But I'm just going to leave it like that. So, Dottie Berry and Barry Tuck present a webinar you don't want to miss. The most important thing you can do in your business, having a marketing system that can ignite it. Yeah, because, here's the thing. People have a business, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Anybody can have a business. It's what you do with your business. It's how you market your business. It's how you connect with people with your business. It's how you create the relationships that are important. So if you're going to offer something like this, then you put in the dates, all right? Now, we would have to go change the pictures, of course, because we can't have Jeff and Neil in there. So I would just double click on that. And I would browse the server. Now, I already have a bio pic in there. See right there, when I put in bio, it brings up a pic, and I'm going to click on that. Now, one thing that's very important, in order for the pictures to look similar, you need to have them the same height and the same width if you're having two people. Now, that's just doing a little scrolling. Let's see. Okay. And And Neil tells you this in the training. Remember where I told you to go to the training and watch what Neil does? I'm going to go ahead and do this, but he puts a note below the video training to remind you that it needs to be 185 by 176, okay? So we're just going to put that in there, and you can see that Jeff Mills has now turned into Dottie Berry, okay? Now, we'll just leave Neil there for a minute, okay? I don't have a picture right handy of Berry, but then it's going to say presented by Dottie Berry, aka Coach B, and Berry Tuck, okay, and not with, just, you know, just together there. And then it says we're going to show you. Well, we're going to show you right here. It says how to get your lazy team to take action on it. Well, you know, I would never call somebody a lazy team. You know, for me personally, I find that mean-spirited. You know, if you call people things, they don't respond well to it. Not in my experience, at least, you know. So how to get leads for your business, since we're talking about having a marketing system. And so how to create jaw-dropping web pages that convert like crazy. That's a good one. You know, how to turn a Google Hangout into high converting sales funnel. Yeah. Anyway, if you wanted to add something else, all you have to do is come here and click on the return. All I did was click on the return button on my typewriter, and I could put how to, you know, whatever it is you're going to put in there. Okay. So you can add another line, or you can take things out. All right. Now, this right here, this space right here, I want to tell you, actually has a Facebook plugin there right now, but you can't see it. I'm going to leave it in there right now so you can see why you don't want to leave that one in there. Most of the time, you don't have necessarily a Facebook share on a registration, unless you're trying to really drive people to share the registration page, you know, and send somebody there. But if you're going to keep it, you want to connect it to your domain that you're using, okay, the domain that you've chosen. So let's just go back up here and look at what we're doing, though. We need to go and change this so that this counter will work right. So this is where we have to go back into source, all right? And then I'm going to just put on the Mac, it's Command F. That's for find. I think it may be Control F on a PC, but I'm going to put in there Command F. And I'm going to put in, instead of bio, okay, I'm going to put in date, because I want to get down here to this date. Do you see that right there? So the date says 12/1/2015. All right. So we want to do it 03, and then we want to do the 10th, and we want to do 16. Okay. And if we want to change this time, I think on the part it said 5 p.m. Now this is, you set it Eastern time, so you got to change that to PM. And Eastern time, that means we got to make it 8 o'clock, because I think it was, what was there was 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock. So then the other thing is, under source, I'm going to go find, and I'm going to put in comments, because this is the comments part, okay, for the Facebook. Now, I'm not going to change that right now because I want you to see how it looks, but you'll notice that it's a PLS Lightning one. And so you're going to notice, because of that, that is a one that's in there, and it's one that people are commenting in all across everywhere, okay? So I'm going to come back to this, and I'm going to come down here and save this. And now we're going to go and we're going to see what this looks like so far. Now, oftentimes you see something that didn't come out like you think, you know, oh, I forgot that space, I misspelled that. No worries. You know, just have fun when you're creating these things. You can't break it. So you don't have to be afraid about that. Just so let's click on it. Okay. So what you're going to see now is that it says Dottie Berry and Barry Tuck present a webinar you don't want to miss. The most important thing you can do in your business, having a marketing system that can ignite it. Wow. Hey, if you want to claim that, go ahead. Anyway, time left until the webinar starts, okay? Since I set it up for Thursday night, it's telling me that one day, 22 hours, and so forth. And then it's got Neil there instead of Barry, but if I get Barry's picture, it would be there. And it says, we're going to show you each thing that they're going to show you. Now, remember what I said about all those comments, you know? Those are comments that aren't relative to your webinar, all right? So you really wouldn't want to use that, all right? So what do you do then to change that? Well, let's go back, all right? I'm going to just end that there. Okay, let's go back over to where we were. And let's just look right here. Let's look. That's the one. Let's take, all right, I want to take this, okay, that's register for, okay. That's the one. See this subdomain right here? Register for webinar test March 8th. Let me go over here. Register for, okay. Okay, that's it. That's the one that I want to grab right there. And the reason is, okay, you see that right there? I needed to get that domain because we're going to go over here and we're going to edit the text, okay? Remember we said about comments? We're going to go back to source. I'm going to look for it. Now, I'll tell you what, this find will save you a lot of time, because otherwise, if you're, particularly if you're new, you're looking at this like, what is this gibberish? Well, it's called HTML. And you know, it's like training your eyes to look. And even if I didn't do that and I was looking for comments, I could come down here and find it, but it takes way too much time. So why not do it quick? You know, find it. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to repaste, okay, this URL. And so it goes all the way over to the .com part. All right, you see that? I'm going to take that out and I'm going to put this in. So now I've got the domain again that is this page that I'm going to insert into there so that it'll come up in a new way. Well, let's just look at it. Let's see if I hit something wrong, if I misspelled something, it won't work, but let's just see what happens. Okay. All right, voila. You see how that works? By using that subdomain right here, okay? Now, the subdomain isn't showing. This is just the where you test it. But you can see that no longer are all those other comments there. But what if you say, well, you know, I don't want them commenting on the registration, you know. I mean, if you wanted to, you could put up here, comment, you know, here. And then, you know, by commenting, it would tell people about your webinar coming up. And they could put, hey, please join me for this great webinar, you know. And so, you know, that would be great for them to be able to come in and watch this webinar. So let me just go back there. I'm going to take that off and I'm going to come back here. I'm going to come right here and let's kind of look at that. Edit the text again. So here's what you do here. If you don't want that in there, okay, you just do like this, okay, and bring that up. I don't want to take it. I might. Yep, I did that. I did too much there, so I'm not going to save that. Let me go back. Should have just done it one time, okay. Let me go back up. I'm just going to go back to basics because I didn't save that just then. I'm going to go to exit. I mean, to my edit the text. And you see that that's not changed. Now, when I save this, it should have taken that off there. Let's see if it did. Let's see if I have to do back 1 or 2. Okay, now the same one's back on there because I didn't save it from earlier. I'm on a different login page from where I was at. Let me go back right here. Oh, here's where I was earlier. Okay, right here. I think this is where I saved it. So let me see if we can just get that off. We'll save it and see. All right, so just backspace twice then. You see how that removed anything with Facebook comments there if you don't want that? And so that's really how you create a page, you know, that you can use. Oh, I know what I did. I went into the one that I was working on and I just removed that. Okay. I was going to take that off anyway. So at least you can see I've got several ones going here. So let me go back to the one right here. All right. Let's go back here. This was the berry tuck one. Okay. All right. So we're going to just take that off. Okay, as you can see on the one that we were actually doing tonight, it is gone, okay? So how do you use some different ways of doing this? Let me just go in here and show you what I was actually working on when you saw somebody else's picture there. I'm using this where I'm not going to need to use all of this because I've actually, let me see if I can get to this page. I've actually created a page for something that I'm going to do, and I just need a registration page. So I had to link this into my actual, you know, professional page that I have, and I'm trying to link from that page into a webinar registration, okay? So what I'm doing here then is I'm actually going over here, and I'll show you what I set up. I didn't need as much. If I go here and I look at this, you're going to see that I didn't have, again, what all they were going to be getting because I had already done that. Let me get back to the page. I had already done that here. See, so I have a customized page right here, and it really kind of lays out what they're going to get when they come to my webinar and everything. But all I really needed was a simple registration page, okay? So let me go back over here. So that's what I created. I just put Coach B and Coach J are excited that you're registering for our free webinar. 4 key shifts, how to begin, create your online course. So what I'm training people on here is how to create their online course. So all I need is a basic registration, okay? Now, what I do need though is a thank you page, all right? So let's just see if you put in an email, you know, and you reserved your seat, okay? And then it sends them where they need to actually come here and you know, so I'm sending them over somewhere different, okay? So that's what you can do with any of these. You send them where you want them to go, all right? So if I go back over here though, I want to show you about how to set up a thank you page. Now, because behind this that I just showed you originally, okay, this one that we did with, you know, Berry Tuck and Dottie Berry, and once you have them sign up for your webinar, you want to shoot them over to a thank you page. So right here is a thank you page that could be developed. So let me just take you in this and show you what that looks like. One that I've developed. I'm going to edit text. So as you can see, I've got information in here that I've put in. And some places I've left blank because I didn't need all that, all right? So if I go over here and I review, then I can go and I can look at that thank you page, okay? Now, I actually put a video with this. I put one of Jen in there. It says, thank you for registering. Coach Jay has a few words to share on why we're inspired to help you create your online course. So what I want to take you back here and do, though, is show you how do you actually create something like that, a thank you page. Well, here's what you do. You go to web pages, create web pages with a custom template that does not use an opt-in form, because at this point, you don't need an opt-in form. You already had one for your webinar registration, okay? So you click there, and then all I did was use one like this. It says, Easy Sales Page Creator for Beginners, okay? You just click on that, all right? And you view it, all right? And then choose it. I'm just going to go ahead and choose it because I showed you what it looks like. And you just choose that, all right? And you give it some kind of title, all right? So I'm going to say, thank you page, and I'm going to call it March 8th test, all right? So I'm going to update that. And then right here, it's just going to take you step by step, and it shows you, see, your headline goes here, your sub headline goes here. It shows you exactly what to do. And step A is there, step A is here, step B is here. Now we're just back to typing. You know, if you can type, you can create a page. You just have to know where to go and what to choose. And so that's why I was showing you that. Now, so if you want to say, thank you for registering for our webinar, okay? And then check your email to receive your promised freebies. You know, if you promised you were going to give some download or whatever you're going to give them, then you just tell them that you're going to do that. You can choose to hide or show the date. You can choose to hide or show your name. You can put anywhere in here. This is where you talk about your business, product, or opportunity. Well, that's not really what this is for. This is just we're using this basic, easy fill in the blanks page as your thank you page. And the reason you want a thank you page after a registration page, like I just showed you, is in case you're doing Facebook marketing. Now, this is going to get a little more technical, and we're not going to go into how you put in the pixel and all, but I want you just to understand the strategy behind it. You have a page where they register. That's fine. But if you really want something where they are going to, where you're going to be marketing on Facebook, you want to be able to have the opportunity, okay, the opportunity to retarget that. And there's a retarget pixel in Facebook marketing that you can then put inside the thank you page that tracks what people clicked on this, okay? And then that creates a new group for you to target to in the future. That's the whole reason for the retargeting Facebook pixel, okay? So the bottom line is you can, create this page any way that you want it, all right? And you can say whatever you want right there. Let's just see what that would look like. Now, you don't have to put a video in there, okay? You don't have to do that at all. But if you want to, you can. Or if you want to go and get one from another website, you can. Now, let's say I wanted to do that. And that's what I did earlier, is I went over to YouTube and I went in and I just went to YouTube. So let's just do that. And I'll just go to my channel. And let's say I was just going to go to my video manager. And I could use this motivation blab. I'll just use it as an example, okay? So I would go to this. And then what I would do is I would go to the share code, all right? But I need the embed code. I would copy that, all right? I would copy that embed code, and I've got to come back over here now and insert my embed code. If I want to start it automatically, I can. And then I save the changes, and then I view, and then now that video.
You go, girl. Ready to go?
So there.
All right. So today on our Monday Motivation with the Black.
So here's what we were doing. I had Stephanie was leading this particular Monday. We take times rotating, and we were discussing a book called Outwitting the Devil that was written, you know, by Napoleon Hill, who wrote Think and Grow Rich. Now, the amazing thing about that book is many people don't know that he wrote that book. He actually wrote it back in 1938, but I'm telling you what, it'll blow your mind to read that book. And his wife begged him not to publish it because she said, we'll be run out of town, basically. He tells it like it is. And it's about how to be successful. And it wasn't published. And everybody along the way in the family said, nope, don't publish it until I die. So it never got published until 2012. But it's a fascinating book called Outwitting the Devil. So we were just speaking on that topic. So, you know, you can do all kinds of things with Power Lead System. But just notice right here that we left the date in. It has my name. And it says this is where you would talk about your business. It's because we didn't replace that. You could have put in a PayPal button here if you were charging for something. But basically, I was trying to show you how to have a thank you page. And then if you wanted your own personal video here, it would say, hey, this is Dottie Berry. Thank you so much for registering for our webinar. We're excited about having you, you know, on Thursday night. So this is just great, you know, for doing it however you want to do it. So listen, we've been going quite a long time, and I don't want to overwhelm everybody, but let's just go back over here for just a second, okay? So again, in these web pages right here, we created right here a registration page, okay? And in that registration page, if you have created a thank you page, then it's going to go over to that when they register, okay? Now, again, we didn't even get into what page they go to come back and actually see the Hangout. That's just creating a page where you embed the Hangout code, and we've covered that before. This basically was teaching you how do you create an invite page. So this is how you do it. Go back over this webinar, stop it, open up your back office side by side this, so that you can learn step by step how to do this. Folks, here's the deal. You either hire somebody to do all this for you and pay big money, or you learn to do it yourself. But some way or another, you have to have a marketing system to market your business. And, you know, one of the main things I'm going to tell you is video. On mobile, by I think it's 2020, they say 90% of content will be video. In the next 2 years, 70, 80% of content is going to be video. So it's not a matter of if you're going to do videos, it's a matter of when you're going to get with the program. And using the Google Hangout, let me just go off this screen share here so I can talk to you a minute. So it's not a matter of if you're going to use video. It's a matter of when you're going to use video. It's not a matter of if you're going to have a marketing system. It's a matter of when you're going to have a marketing system. You've either already started, or you choose to start today, or you choose to start next month, or you choose to start next year. But if you're going to be in business online, trust me, you're going to have to do the things that it takes to connect with the people who you're marketing to, because they want to see you. More and more people, it's all about the story, you know, the story of who you are and what you've come through. Well, let me just share you real quickly before we leave. I mean, how did I get into what I'm doing? Well, some of you may or may not know, years ago, I coached women's basketball at the University of Kentucky. And then I went on to get out of coaching. I became an entrepreneur. My business was Small Business of the Year with the Lexington Chamber of Commerce, and then Small Business of the Year in the United States in the ASI industry, which is Advertising Specialty Institute. you know, I went on to create all kind of events and projects with my company, from creating the logo for the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame and putting in all the initial products, and for Keeneland Racetrack in Lexington, Kentucky. You know, I did events for Converse, things like that. So I had a great time, great business. But that's not an online business. And then I moved. Yes, I moved 3,000 miles for love. Okay, who can identify with that? Well, so then what happened was, you know, I'm trying to reinvent myself. In the beginning, I came and I did what I knew, but I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something online. So I started diving into online marketing. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to laugh when you see this, but there were days that I would look in the mirror and I would go, "Who are you?" Seriously, you know, I'd be like, "Gosh, who am I? What am I doing?" So it was pretty scary feeling, you know, like, how do I do this online marketing stuff? But bit by bit, I learned some some tools and skills. I went back to school. I was kind of combining that, but I kind of went back to school and just started diving in. But I'm going to tell you, 8 years ago, it wasn't as easy as it is now. We didn't have things all in one place. We had to go here and there for all these different components. That's what's so great about PowerLead System. You have everything in one system, even the emails if you want it. I mean, you know, it's its own self-contained email program. You can integrate with Aweber, you know, if you want to, but I didn't. I decided just to use what we've got here. So it's been a remarkable journey. And, you know, now as I sit today, I realize what I'm most passionate about is really helping people get their message and their expertise out into the world, because I know I'm not totally free until I help every person I meet create their own online course. I want to help them make an impact and make an income. And, you know, so that's a great, it's just a great feeling to me to have my own course where I help people do that. And PowerLead System is a part of how I market that and how I get the word out there about my courses. But, you know, you got to tap into something you're really passionate about. So what I do is I teach people, you know, how do you create and determine your, what I call your PPC, your passionate, profitable course idea. And, you know, so I've created a document that really helps people figure that out, because you know, it's really about what your prospects want. I mean, a lot of people go, "Oh, I want to do this." Well, there may not be a market for that. So how do you figure out what is your market for what you're doing? So in any business that you have, if you're going to use our marketing system, you have to figure out what does the customer and the client and the prospect want. And then you figure out what their pain point is, their problem, and you become the solutions person. You create the solution, because folks, that's really what being an entrepreneur is all about. We're solution people, okay? We look at the problem out there. I don't care if you're in health and wellness or you're in online marketing, if you're, you know, whatever you're doing, if you're using this to market for your mortgage company or your real estate company, you know, here's the problem. Somebody's looking for a home and they can't find what they want. So you can use this system to market all the different houses that you have on the market. And then that helps you get ranked. And you can even put a little video on there about, "Hi, I'm Dottie Berry, and, you know, I'm in real estate in Blaine, Washington. I love helping you find your dream home." There's nothing more special than having a home that's meaningful to you. And I know if it's your first home, gosh, I can look back and remember how much that meant to me. So see, when you use these really personal videos to connect with people and share the stories, that's what people are looking for. They're flat sick and tired of having people that scam them or don't show their face on the internet. The internet's great, but you know what? People want to connect with real people. They really do. And that's, if there's one lesson I can share with you and one tip tonight as we end is, you know, be real, be authentic with people. That's what people are looking for. So anyway, thank you so much for being here tonight. We are here every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time and 9 p.m. Eastern time. And we go anywhere, mostly around 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, you know, sometimes just 30 minutes. But we had a little bit more to go over tonight. So I hope that that was helpful for you. And what we did get into, we can't cover everything in one night, but hopefully you gained some gold nuggets, because that's what it's all about. So this is Dottie Berry coming to you from Blaine, Washington, and come back next week and get a few more gold nuggets. Thanks so much for your time tonight. Bye for now.